Hey everybody, hope you're having a great day. I want to talk about some pretty crazy stuff. I know this really sounds off the wall, but I want to talk about pinto beans and cystic fibrosis. That's pretty crazy, yeah, right? Anyway, I'm going to talk about that in a minute, but first off, I want to introduce myself. My name is Joe Hatch. I live in Arizona. I'm sitting in the dining room of my house. Beautiful weather nowadays. I am 64 years old. I have cystic fibrosis. Yeah, pretty crazy, huh? And these are my original lungs. I know that's a fantastic story and almost like unbelievable, but it's true. And I wanted to tell you a little bit about it because I'm hoping that this video vlog, the one I'm going to start, is kind of a coming out for me because I see so many people that want to know about cystic. They want to know how to deal with cystic. They have grandkids, loved ones, daughters, sisters, brothers, wives, husbands, every walk of life. And they all want to know how to deal with it. And I'm sick and tired of bad information or people that want to just boo-hoo through life. I want to have some fun. So I decided to start talking about this, and I think the best place to go and start is telling you about myself. I was born here in Arizona. My parents were in the service before I was born, and they had a daughter back in the late 40s. She lived to be 2.5 years old and died from lung complications. And yet they didn't even know what the name was, because the word cystic fibrosis wasn't even known until like 1955, from what I understand. So the year I was born was the year that they had the name for this awful disease. My parents were mortified on what to do because my mom was convinced she killed that first daughter and it was her fault that she died. When reality is, there isn't much she could have done because the techniques, medicines, and therapies weren't even around. There was no medicine. There was just like, wow, what should we do next? So anyway, bless my mom's sweet soul. She was quite creative and learned all kinds of things to do and don't, dealing with a son that had lots of energy, but a really unhappy stomach. When I was younger, my lungs weren't bad at all, but my stomach, my intestinal tract was just awful. Everything I ate made me sick. When I mean sick, it was like having the flu all the time, and I had diarrhea, and it was disgusting. I mean, I was just like, eh. So I think the best thing to tell you is my mom, through experimentation, found out a couple of things that I could eat that wouldn't make me sick. And the number one thing I love for treats, I don't know if anybody will relate to this, but I loved Rice Krispies. Rice Krispie treats, yeah, the things with marshmallows. That was like, I could eat a whole pan full. And so that was my number one go-to treat that my mom would make me. And as far as food goes, she used to cook pinto beans like what I have here in the bottle. These, my wife and I bottled, and we have a bunch in our storage area that we just, if we're in a pinch, we just grab one, pull it out, and we can make refried beans or tostados or just chili, all kinds of things, and we do that now. The only difference is between now and 50 years ago is, I mean, can you believe it? 50 years ago is nowadays they have Creon, pancreas, all these different medicines that will help you digest this stuff. Back in the old days, this was it. In fact, my mom was really careful not to put anything on them. I ate them straight, bland, sometimes with ketchup. I think I liked the ketchup because it had sugar in it. And so it made the beans taste different. And my mom would put cheese on them. And it was pretty amazing. And the only other thing that I could eat that wouldn't make me sick was 7-Up. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't have a bottle of 7-Up to show you, but you know what the 7-Up is. I haven't drank one in years, but anyway, I used to drink 7-Up, unflavored pinto beans, and Rice Krispie treats. Yeah, that was my diet pretty much. And so it was really crazy as a youngster. And we lived out on 5 acres of property, and we had citrus trees that we had on our property, and my dad was a school teacher, and my mom was a stay-at-home mom. So between all the adventures there and all the adventures I've had in all these years, oh, by the way, my birthday was last February, and I turned 64 years old. Maybe I already mentioned that earlier in the video. I'm sorry if I did. I'm kind of nervous. This is the first time I've ever done this, so it's kind of crazy. Anyway, the purpose for this video is I'm hoping that through my experience, your life might be better, happier, learn some do's and don'ts, and what to look out for is when you're dealing with this very icky medicine, or not medicine, but disease. I shudder when I see cystic fibrosis because it is such a heartache. But through it all, I've learned how to be happy. I've been able to work most of my life. I've traveled a lot. I've done a lot of really cool things, despite the fact my dad died when I was 19 years old. And so I've been doing it on my own with the help of loved ones, friends, and family. I've had a terrific life, and that's really the reason that I wanted to make the videos, is that I wanted people to see that there isn't a lot of just boo-hooing, that life is great, and there's a lot of terrific things you can do, even with the challenges that come along with cystic. I mean, one of these first days, I'll have to tell you about a few trips that I've been on and the things I've been able to do despite my issues. Anyway, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you're interested enough to subscribe to the channel, and hopefully we'll have some fun together. Oh, and by the way, on a footnote, I will not be giving medical advice, or anything I tell you on how to treat cystic fibrosis is not authorized by anyone or anybody. But I do have a few things, we'll call it experience, that might help you along your journey, that you might be able to find some peace in your life, love in your life, and gratitude for what you do have. Hey, have a great day. We'll see you soon.